Race, the John Smith's Liverpool Hurdle, over 3 miles, half a furlong. 1 is Big Bucks, Ruby Walsh. 2, Duke de Renier, Barry Garrity. 3, Lochderg, Tom Scudamore. Number 4 is Petit 4, the mount of Paddy Brennan. Down to 5, Fair Long, Reese Flint. 6 is Fazel, who loves Aintree, Davy Condon. Down to 7, Hills of Arran, AP McCoy. 8 is Master Ready, Jason Maguire. 9, Mighty Man, another one who likes the course. He's unbeaten in 3 runs here, Richard Johnson. And number 10 is No Refuge, Dennis O'Regan.
Okay, stand by. Gary.
Well, Big Bucks is your favourite at 4 to 5. It's Mighty Man 9 to 2 from 5 to 1. Fair Long is a 10 to 1 shot. It's 12 to 1 Duke de Renier. 16 to 1 good money this morning for Petit 4, along with Hills of Arran, a 16 to 1 shot. And then we've got 28 to 1 is it Lochderg, 40 to 1 Fazel, 66 No Refuge. You're outside of Master Ready at 200 to 1. But Big Bucks is your favourite at 4 to 5.
Well, let's have a look at a few of these runners. We've seen Big Bucks and heard from Paul Nicholls about him, but this is Mighty Man, who won this race twice in a row, loves Aintree, then had a long break. He was very badly injured, looked like he may never race again. Came back at Cheltenham and ran all right.
He ran very well, Claire, and we're just saying we hope that the bounce factor doesn't work. Where they come back, they run well, and then the second appearance they don't run as well. So he loves Aintree though, doesn't he?
He's a very fizzy horse, always on his toes, but Richard Johnson knows him extremely well and will do what he can to calm him down and conserve his energy. Fair Long is another one that Richard Johnson knows well. Has ridden plenty of times. Reese Flint takes the ride today, and he's a buzzer. He'll go off and go fast.
Ran very disappointed at Cheltenham. Richard said he got very, very tired that day, so he has it to do. Won 2 good handicaps at Cheltenham earlier on the season.
It is interesting. Horses that have run well at Cheltenham come here to Aintree and they have a very poor strike rate.
They do overall. I think there was statistics in the paper today that about 20 out of 90 runners altogether have won at Liverpool, having won at the festival.
Well, Mick Fitzgerald is going to be alongside Jim McGrath in the commentary box and give us an insight into tactics and all sorts, Jim.
Yeah, Mick's joining me up here. And Mick, the first thing I want to ask you, Lochderg certain to lead?
Not certain to lead. He's running well in this race previously, getting a lead. So,
Right, lads,
you know, a
half
horse
inch,
like
goggles.
this fella
He's
not certain. I think you could see something else going on here.
Okay, so Fair Along is also a horse who goes forward.
He doesn't really want to go looking at him here, Jim.
And Big Bucks, of course, is a horse who likes to be in behind. 5 to 4 on Big Bucks, 9 to 2 Mighty Man, 10 to 1 Fair Along, and 11 to 1 Duke de Renier as they steady behind the tapes, and all
right,
anxious.
lads, this time. Just hang on to them
Coming
in front,
in.
lads. Hang on to them. Hang on to them. Hang on to them. Hang on to them. Whoa!
Starter says go, and Lochderg is the first one to go on here by half a length or so. The Petit 4 up on the near side. Up there as well too is it's in the centre, Hills of Arran, as they draw now to the first of 13 fights. Lochderg led over it from Petit 4 in second, then back in third, the inside. Mighty Man takes up the box seat. Right in the centre is Hills of Arran. 2 lengths further back is Fair Along. Followed then back in the field by Fazel, the outside from Big Bucks, who's on the fence. And further back in the field behind Big Bucks, or beside him, is Duke de Renier. Master Ready is wider, and further back is No Refuge. And Mick, in the early stages, very, very interesting that Ruby Walsh has absolutely buried Big Bucks back in the field.
Yeah, and just looking at Big Bucks, for me, he looks a little bit uncomfortable. He's wanting to get on and go a little bit faster than Ruby's happy with him going. They haven't gone lickety-split here. You can see that Ruby's, he stood bolt upright in the saddle, just trying to get this fella to relax a bit. It's very important.
Well, it's a long way to go, and he may just get into that rhythm. There he is on the inside, the nose-banded Big Bucks as they head over flight number 2, and Master Ready back in the field wrapped that very hard. There's Lochderg, the leader, on the inside. 3 parts or so to Petit 4, a half length away then is Hills of Arran. Mighty Man is up in the box seat on the inside, 4th, followed then by Fazel. Fair Along in the centre, followed further back by Duke de Renier, another white cap back in the field. Big Bucks as they go over the 3rd, just got in a fraction tight, but no worries at all. Master Ready is back in the field, and so too is No Refuge, continuing their journey down towards flight number 4. And the leader to it is Lochderg. Got over it, stepped over it, about 2 in front here of Mighty Man, who's getting closer on the inside. Mighty Man, winner of this race in 2006 and 2007. So they swing out of the back. Then on the outside, Petit Four, and further back in the field, Hills of Arran, Fair Along, Fasel the outside. Big Bucks still restrained on the inside, and he's still a little keen.
Yeah, every time that Ruby gets him relaxed and the field bunches up, it suddenly looks like the horse is right, come on, let's go on, I want to go faster. But when he gets a little bit of room, you'll see Ruby's very keen to just have a nice little hole so he can put this horse to sleep. It's important because he is a tricky ride, this fella.
Yes, very, very obvious at Cheltenham that he came from a long way back there and was produced very late. But it looks like it's going to be exactly the same today as they come into the straight up to flight 5, and it's Lockderg who leads over it. The game Lockderg got over it clear from in the centre. Petit Four, the inside is Mighty Man. Followed in 4th the centre, the white cap of Fair Along. Out wider Hills of Arran, a length and a half to Fasel as they go over the 6th. Further back in the field, Duke de Renier, who's been weighted with today. Then on the inside is Big Bucks and a gap to No Refuge. Heading up now towards the one that'll be the last next time round, number 7, Lockderg, the first to rise. Just got in too close to that, but still landed over it safely. Petit Four and now Hills of Arran starting to edge a little bit closer. Mighty Man in behind them from Fair Along. Fasel out wider, Duke de Renier. Big Bucks a gap then to Master Ready and No Refuge. And Mighty Man, Mick, on the inside. He's had the run of the race and he loves it. 3 out of 3 here at Aintree.
Yeah, very, very good record here at Aintree. Richard Johnson was very keen to get back on board this fella. He rode Fair Along last time, who for me just sat in behind Mighty Man, struggling a little. The biggest worry you've got with Mighty Man is the fact that he hasn't run consecutively for a little while. People worry about this thing called the bounce factor, where a horse who's run well on a comeback run then doesn't run so well back the second time.
Well, as they race now into the back, the pack stands at the back and it's Lockderg showing the way. 3 parts of a length in front as they come now to flight number 8. Petit Four on the outside, really challenging now and trying to put pressure on this leader. Hills of Arran starting to move up. Big Buck still back in the field and still weighted with, and he'll be weighted a lot longer as well, I'd say, as they head now towards flight number 9. And on the outside, Petit Four is a narrow leader from Lockderg on the near side. Hills of Arran out wider. They're followed by Mighty Man, and now Fair Along is now being pushed in the centre. A length and a half further back is Duke de Renier. Fasel well back, and so too is Big Bucks in the centre now. He's come off the inside as they come to 4 out. He's easing him to the outside, Ruby, as they head over 4 out. And the leader here on the inside is Mighty Man. He's got through now, and he's starting to look very dangerous.
He is looking very dangerous, but you wouldn't say the same about Ruby's horse here, Big Bucks. But don't worry, this horse is a very tricky ride, and Ruby does a great job of it.
There he gets to work, Ruby Walsh on the outside, the red sleeves and cap on Big Bucks, but as they come down towards the turn, it's Mighty Man in front from Petit Four. Out wider Hills of Arran, Fair Along behind them. Big Bucks is coming there. He's got a double handful, Ruby, in the centre. They're about 5 lengths or so to Duke de Renier, who hasn't picked up at all. Coming around the home turn, 3 flights left to jump in the Liverpool Hurdle, and it's Mighty Man, the course specialist, a length and a half clear of Reese Flint on Fair Along. Out wider then in the centre is Petit Four. Big Bucks in the centre, 3 out now. Mighty Man a mighty leap at it. From in second place, Fair Along. They're followed by Petit Four. He gets to work on Big Bucks. He's got to time this to a nicety. They come to the second last. It's Mighty Man, 3 in front here. Big Bucks has got a task on. Followed then by Fair Along. Petit Four, the outside, a long gap. Duke de Renier. 1 left to jump now. It's Mighty Man in front. Can he hold on? Big Bucks, he gets to work on the outside. He crashed through it, Mighty Man. That might have been crucial. It is. Big Bucks cruises up on the outside, grabs the lead now. Is he there too soon? He has to kick on, and it's Big Bucks. He's coming away. He's a good horse. Big Bucks, a tricky ride, and he had the right man on top, Ruby Walsh. It's Big Bucks who wins it well. In second, Mighty Man. A gap then to Fair Along in third, followed by Petit Four in fourth. Duke de Renier never got into it. They're followed by Hills of Arran. Further back then is No Refuge. Fasel second last and Lockderg last. Master Ready may have been pulled up. He's a long, long way behind. But this was a fascinating race over the last 2. Mighty Man, he's crashed through the last, and there's no doubt that that's cost him the race. Big Bucks, though, the interesting point here, Mick, was Ruby be saying to himself, I didn't want that to happen. I didn't want to be there quite that soon.
Yeah, you can see here that Dickie's horses hit the last, it's Ruby's there. Oh no, I'm here a mile too soon. It's a long run in here, and they raced a long way out. The big thing is here for Ruby, he's given this horse a brilliant ride. You always think this horse, he's going to get beat the next day, but then he never does. He never does that much, even when he's in front.
Ruby Walsh, as I say, the man for the job, and you could see, we watched him very closely in the run there. We had the close-up camera on him, and you could see he was a difficult ride. Early on, he was a bit too buzzy, a bit too keen. Over 3 miles, you're hoping, of course, and Paul Nicholls there on the left with Anthony Bromley, the bloodstock agent, on the right, who buys so many of the Nicholls horses. And it's a tricky situation. He's got to get him into a rhythm. He has to get him... He has to position him back in the field. He was lucky he had quite a few runners. He's not an easy ride, Jim, of that there's no doubt. He's a real tough ride, and he's got the right man on board. Great ride. Well, the right man on board, Ruby Walsh, he'll be wearing these colours in the Grand National on My Will, who will start a very short price favourite, certainly around 6 to 1 or shorter. 6 to 5 on the winner, 9 to 2 Mighty Man second, and Fair Along 10 to 1 third.
So interesting watching Paul Nicholls, watching Big Bucks, because he didn't want to look. And this is Henry Daly, the trainer of Mighty Man, who's run so well and just made that one mistake at the last, and that was it. Game over for him. A real shame, because gosh, Henry and their team have done well to get Mighty Man, who's there in your picture, back fit and sound and ready to run again and race again. And that's what this horse loves doing, and they should be hugely proud of that effort. But what a horse this Big Bucks is. Funnily enough, Richard, I could almost see him, if he gets his jumping together over bigger fences, coming back and winning a Grand National.
Yeah, he could, Gold Cup horse as well, Claire. He is a very, very decent horse, and probably Cheltenham. He travelled better at Cheltenham today, but he missed the last. On the whole, but he got close to one down the back, but he jumped really well up the straight today.
But look at those big furry ears, because they tell the tale, and they're saying, "Ooh, hello, am I in front? Ooh, can I go home?"
He's just doing enough, and certainly the other horses, Mighty Man, just pedalling at the last. It's really landed the race to the other two Big Bucks there. You can see this. He just steps on it. He does very, very well to stand up.
He really does. He breaks the top of the hurdle there, and it really, a brilliant job to keep going forward. But that, I'm afraid, will have hurt him a bit, will have bruised him for sure.
Fair Along back there in thirds, run very well.
And this is the celebrations. This is when Paul Nicholls did start watching and said, "Go on, keep him going, keep him going, keep him going." But it's agony. It's agony watching him, watching the horse. He's just a horse who only does enough.
He does, yeah. As you say, those ears going back and forward all the way up the running. Ruby's given him a lovely ride, settle him in there, and he was a little bit keen. I agree with Mick. He was a little bit keen through the early stages of the race, but not too bad.
He has so much ability, gleaming in the sunshine here. He's winning the show ring as well, Big Bucks, and he has another long distance hurdle to his credit. He is the outstanding staying hurdler of the year, and in retrospect, what a good thing that he fell in the Hennessy. Otherwise he wouldn't be doing this.
Come back, and how many? That's five races since then, and picked up a world hurdle as well. So it's marvellous for the Stewart family. And sure, Paul's watching at home, and say hi to Paul.
Paul Stewart.
Yes, Paul Stewart.
We hope to see him here on Saturday.
Hopefully we'll see you up at Aintree, as I say, on Saturday.
A big reception for this horse. He's a well-backed, short price favourite, and those punters who just follow the Ruby Walsh, Paul Nicholls team, well, my word, they've been collecting all season long, and they have here again on the first day of the John Smith's Grand National meeting.
Ruby Walsh, who rode 7 winners at the Cheltenham Festival, starts the week here at Aintree with a winner, and a big winner too. Appreciation from the crowd.